So I just come back from doing the event, guys, and I really enjoy it. I always have to process it after. It's something that I enjoy doing as well. And I always kind of learn the same thing every time I teach and do these events. Well, I learn many things, but I always learn the main lesson that everybody needs to do to change their life, and it's take action. But it's consistent action. And one of the challenges that I heard from a lot of people today at the event were a lot of guys struggle to deal with their thoughts, their self-doubt, their negative thoughts. And a lot of people struggle to take consistent action on their fears in all areas of their life, with social anxiety, accountability, dating, relationships, coming to events, investing in mentors, financially, gym. And people struggled with moving forward and taking action when they're not feeling good. And I said to the guys, through my experience of having ups and downs and good times, success, burning out, that the biggest lesson that I've learned, especially through the mental health experiences that I come back from, is you have to do things when you don't feel like it. We all have days where we don't feel like it. We don't feel confident, or we feel depressed, or we feel tired, or we don't feel quite outgoing. But if you don't take action in those times, things just get worse. They don't get better. Things get better by moving forward. And I said that to a lot of the guys, and I physically experienced that myself. The more I teach, the more I make money, the more I help people, the more I go gym, the more I travel, the more I see my family, friends, the more I do videos, I just feel like a different person. I feel better. I have more confidence in myself. I don't believe the negative thoughts, because all of the action that I'm taking is just disproving all my own negative thoughts and stories and demons wrong. And that has a biological, psychological, spiritual, social, financial, positive effect on everything. So I've said it before to clients, that the mind is so complicated and intelligent and tricky, with all of its fears and stories and doubts and worries about what will happen in the future. You can't outsmart it with more thinking. The way that you outsmart it is by taking action. And that's why I've always said, and I stand by on what I've said, reading books is not living it. Because reading books just adds to the stories and the intellectualization, and you don't get nowhere. You have no confidence, you've got no courage, you don't learn how to manage social anxiety, stress. You don't learn how to be calm in stressful situations and comfortable being uncomfortable. And I love the teaching, because it's real life. It has no room for opinions. It's just the truth. The truth is, we've all got to face the fears consistently. And I said to the guys at the event, just because I'm successful and you've seen me on YouTube and it's great what I've done and I worked hard to do it, it's not over. I have to deal with mental health just like you do every day. I've got to push myself. I've got to get uncomfortable in all areas of life. Success is not the end. Success is just the beginning of something even more great, or not so great if you don't keep working at it. So big lesson that I've learned, and I relearn it. And it's not like, oh, I've learned it now, that's it. It's like, no, you've got to keep learning it. You've got to keep going over it, because what we know and what we learn is not always what we continue to apply. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. The clients that I work with, the recent clients throughout all the years I've been coaching for almost 11 years, the ones that do the best in all areas of life are always the ones that consistently show up. And I've worked with clients who are extremely talented, they're confident, and they do well, but some of them, they don't continue, and then they just stay at a certain level. And that's with everything. And I've learned that in life. I'm learning that. I look at my life, I examine it. How was my life when I was taking consistent action? It was amazing. How was my life when I weren't taking action? I wasn't accountable. It was a disaster. It was depressing. It came with a whole baggage of suicidal thoughts, feelings of all those feelings, horrible feelings, mental health problems. So when you take consistent action, you physically change your energy, and people see it. It just spreads. We know it when we see it. We see someone like Tyson Fury, or we see anyone who's living it and showing up. They have a certain aura about them. Anybody, you don't have to be famous. You don't have to be a boxer. Any person, I've seen it on clients. They physically look better. They look more attractive. Their whole demeanor changes when they're consistently taking action. And I keep reminding people, you don't have to be perfect. None of us are perfect. We can't be perfect, but that's not an excuse to not be great and achieve and grow and show up. And most of it's simple, really. Most of what everyone on this channel has to do, all of us, including me, is we just got to keep socializing regularly and be as honest as we can with people and be kind and be ourselves and not be perfect. And then our whole life changes. You know, I get questions, and I really appreciate when guys ask me, and it's nice when they look up to me and they ask me, how did you build your business? How did you get out of the bad place that you were in years ago when you lived in Fulham Broadway? How did you break out with no financial support or not much money? And I took action. I kept going out. I kept working on being honest. I fell over. I failed. I got rejected in everything that I'd done, but I wouldn't quit, and I'd always break through eventually in the dating, in business, in YouTube. And it's been the same with mental health. The biggest challenge I've had is mental health. You know, I had to overcome that, become successful, be in a good place, have a nervous breakdown, go in hospital, fight my way back, and here I am now. Thank God I'm in a good place again. So it's not quitting. It's having the courage and the humility and being humble at all these things to not feel I'm so proud I can't fail. Just keep going and learning and not giving up. And it's not easy, you know, it's not easy for any of us. It's really not easy for me some days. And I think if you're not having thoughts occasionally that I want to quit, then you're not pushing hard enough. Obviously, as long as you don't act on it, but everyone can do it, you know. When I work with guys or get groups, I'm not just saying this to be polite, it's just the truth. They're really talented people and they can all do it. So I can see it, but they just need a push and need a mentor. They need someone to hold them accountable, and they need that consistency. So if you guys are passionate about building momentum in all areas of life, especially with social anxiety, you've got a range of options that are coming up. I've got programs. I've got the 2 paid programs coming up, weekend confidence programs. I've got a date next week, the 10th and the 11th, whole weekend, and that's specifically for dating and relationships. If you guys want to get a girlfriend and get dates before Christmas, let me know. If you can't make that date, I have a following week. I want to do another program as December is we're here, which is the 17th and the 18th. Someone's going to book on that who come to the event. A good friend of mine at work, me, lovely guy. I really appreciated him as well. He gave me a good review at the event. I didn't even expect it. Was even asking people to sell my coaching and tell other people about my services. And I've also got the events that I'm running now every month in London, the confidence events. Those events are free, 2 hours. But the Weekend Confidence Program is the paid program. Amazing. If you're interested in these things, send me an email. I'll get back to you. You guys know where to find me. If you really want to do the program, send me an email. And I do appreciate the support from you guys. It's just fantastic. When I meet people in person and when they tell me how I've made a difference to their life and what it means to them in how I've impacted them through my honesty, my story, my challenges, my journey, whether it's with the dating, the business, social anxiety, the mental health, the boxing, it means a lot to me. You know, it really does. That is the reason. It's not one of the reasons why I got into teaching. It's a great thing to be able to do that. All right, Phyllis.